What's up, guys? Today we're taking a look at the Master Grade Sinanju Stein narrative version, and this was not a P-Bandai kit, but I really have a feeling that this was maybe originally supposed to be a P-Bandai kit, or it probably could have or should have been a P-Bandai kit. Now, I know a lot of people are going to instantly not like the fact that I said that, because of course no one likes P-Bandai kits, but the fact that this thing is basically just a little bit different colors and just a small little handful of different parts, that's pretty much exactly, that's P-Bandai 101 right there. So the fact that this was not P-Bandai is strange. And then there's other things too. The fact that it doesn't have a new pilot figure also seems a bit lazy. And anytime we're talking lazy release from Bandai, that's usually, we're talking P-Bandai. So I don't really know the full story for sure, but that's just my thoughts about that. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about this kit because it is awesome. It's very large, very in charge, very nicely detailed, very nicely color separated. There are some stickers and there are some things that I think are a little bit wonky, but otherwise, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty awesome kit. As with most of my recent kits that I've built and reviewed over the past couple weeks or so, I did build this up live on Twitch. So if you aren't following me or subscribed over on my Twitch channel, the link to that is down below. I'm going to try to stick to this formula for the foreseeable future, where I'll be building up the kits there live on Twitch, so you guys can kind of see the process and get my initial reactions and get any other first questions that you want to ask right out of the gates, and all that fun stuff before we get into the actual review here on YouTube. So with all that out of the way, let's take a look at what all you get included here with this kit, shall we? So we got this big sticker sheet, of which I only used a couple of them just for illustration purposes. On the light gray, the stickers are going to look okay. You can't really see the outline of them so bad, so that's not too bad. But if you're going to put them on any of the dark parts, like I've got this one here on the shield, you are going to see the outline of that. So stickers are okay, use them if you want. I feel like if you're going to paint the kit, obviously you're not really going to use these, but they're going to look not too bad if you end up using those. We do actually have a set of waterslide decals, which is pretty rare for a standard release Master Grade kits, but this is just basically, as you can see, just for the sleeves markings. We did also have the sleeves markings covered on this set of just foil stickers, which is what I've used here on the kit. So a quick note about the foil stickers, because there are a fair amount of them. All the white bits there for the sleeves markings are all made up of foil stickers. Again, they don't look too bad. I think if you didn't want to actually take the time to paint them or do a reverse wash technique on those, which I have covered in a previous video in my work in progress on the Kshatriya kit, the HUC Kshatriya kit. In my work in progress video, I talked about how to do a reverse wash. Check that out if you're interested. But anyway, we also have some red stickers that go around on the inside of this bit here for these thrusters on the side of the leg. This part here in the center is in like a different color of gray, but they wanted it to be in this particular shade of gray, so they have this sticker to cover up that part there in the center. It just changes the color of gray ever so slightly, and not a really big change there. We've got a sticker in here for the eyes, of course, not all that noticeable because it's like dark red on black, and it's hidden by this very dark brow there, so you're not really going to see the eyes all that well, but those are there, and there's a sticker. This part here on the backpack as well, you can see that brown part sticking up. That is actually gray, and this little, like, that kind of light gray that you can see there around the edge. That whole part is in light gray, but it's supposed to be brown, so you cover that whole bit up with a big brown sticker. Now, I had seen a couple of comments of people theorizing that the amount of stickers that this kit comes with is another thing pointing to the fact that this maybe was originally supposed to be a P-Bandai kit. I don't think that's the case because, I mean, these things, obviously, those are going to be stickers. The eyes, obviously, those are going to be stickers. I don't think they're going to make a whole separate mold of this whole section. This is all just from the original Sinanju Stein Ver.Ka. They're not going to remake this whole section just to make it so they can make a separate red part for that. They could have, but honestly, obviously, they're not going to. This part here, I think maybe they could have put that part on a different runner to make that actually brown, but again, it's a very kind of minor thing, so I don't think that the stickers give any credence to the fact that this maybe was originally supposed to be P-Bandai or not. But moving on, we have a couple of clear yellow beam saber effect parts here. The beam sabers are actually stored up in the forearms. I'll just go ahead and show you this to you now. Kind of lift up this bit here on the side of the arm. That comes out, and the beam saber just falls out. It's actually meant to fold out that little tab there in the handle, which is used for plugging it into the hand, but you can also use that to plug it into where it's supposed to plug up into there. Kind of a little bit overly complicated to do that, and I don't really feel like getting out my tweezers just to make this to fit in there and then risk breaking that little tab when I'm trying to pull it out, but basically just set it in there, close it up, and it's in there well enough. You don't really have to worry about that. We do also have a action-based connector, of course, and then one extra hand, which is just a fixed wrist, fixed posed hand here for the weapon. Now, this will be nice, I think, because this means that that should be more secure for holding up its very heavy weapon, which is good. The hands that are on the kit are, of course, the very articulated 2.0 hands, I think they are, whatever. Anyway, where there's individual joints all throughout all the fingers, kind of like perfect grade style hands, or like with the original kit, or with the Master Grade High New Ver.Ka, or with the new Ver.Ka, I want to say. Anyway, I don't really like those hands. I would have preferred if they were all just fixed pose hands, because those are just more reliable. They're less prone to breaking. They're just easier to pose. With these fingers, you have to kind of get all the fingers lined up right to make the hands look just right. If they're just fixed pose, this just makes it easier, I think. Here we've got the bazooka, which is pretty nice. It's got the secondary handle here on the side, which folds out. The main handle, which folds down there in the front like that. This bit here at the back, which slides out for the ammo, which is there, which is actually pretty cool. It's actually something I talked about during the live stream. I didn't actually know that this bazooka did that. I've never built this bazooka before. I've never built the Ver.Ka version of this. I have built the regular Sinanju Ver.Ka way back, like almost 10 years ago when that kit first came out. The barrel does extend, and like that, this bit here on the top will come out for when you want to collapse this into its shorter form, which will connect up into the beam rifle. It does not connect onto the back of the shield like it does with the Sinanju, so that's not going to be possible with this kit without any modification. And so speaking of the shield, here that is. It's pretty nice, pretty simple. On the back, we've got a new connector piece and a new piece here at the bottom for putting that on, putting the grenade launcher onto there. And I do like this new shield because with the extended bit there at the end, it actually makes the shield look a little bit bigger. One thing I never really liked about the shield on the original Sinanju Stein Ver.Ka is that the shield looked a little bit small in my opinion, and we actually have got that here. So among all of our extra parts, I'll go through some of those here in a moment, but here's the extra parts from the shield. So you could make, if you use this part from the back and this part from the front, you could just make the original shield if you prefer that. But as you can see, this new one is just basically extended a little bit at the bottom, but I think it does help to make the shield overall look a little bit larger than it did originally, which is nice. Then as I mentioned, we do have the grenade launcher. Again, this is from the original Sinanju. This kind of bends there. And this can be plugged onto the back of the shield, just right here like that. So you can use that. That's pretty cool, but this can also be plugged onto the underside of the rifle. So here's our new rifle for this. Like with the HG, it basically takes the Sinanju's beam rifle and then you build some new parts around that to make this into a new version of the high beam rifle. And it's pretty awesome, I gotta say, I definitely really like this. But if you, for some reason, did prefer the original rifle, among our extra parts for this kit, you have all the parts to make the original high beam rifle from the original Sinanju Stein Ver.Ka. So you will have an extra rifle that you can then use for some other kit if you want. So you have that for your extra parts. Just like with the original Sinanju, the grenade launcher can be plugged up into there. Fold that up and close it up, and then there you go. And this thing just looks so awesome. I love the original Sinanju's beam rifle, and then this added like extra bulk onto it to kind of match the Stein's design. It does look really nice, and it's quite long as well. There you can see, compared to the kit itself, it comes up to his chest there. So, and this is also a very, very tall, very big kit, so this gun is pretty huge. It's only going to get bigger once we add the bazooka up underneath here as well. We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's just first talk about some of the articulation here. Actually, hold that thought. On the topic of extra parts, you have a whole lot of extra parts with this kit. A lot of this just kind of like random frame bits and things like that for the most part. Frame parts left over from the original Sinanju kit. Armor parts left over from the original Stein Ver.Ka. But some parts worth noting here are the Stein Ver.Ka's fuel tanks, which are shorter. The ones that we have on this kit are the ones that are from the original Sinanju, which are the longer types. So if you prefer the shorter ones, you can use those or keep those for any sort of custom build or something. You do also have a bunch of leftover thruster bells, so you can use these again for just kind of custom builds, things like that. And then this is something that a lot of people have pointed out as being useful. I don't particularly need this because I didn't have this problem, but on the original Sinanju kit, the Ver.Ka version, this part was particularly weak and a lot of people broke that, but on the newer versions, it was made to be stronger, I guess. So if you are one of those people who did break this peg here on your original Sinanju kit, you have some replacement parts here that you could use. This. Now the color won't match, but you could always repaint it or just ignore it. But as I was saying, let's get into talking about some of the articulation. So the head will go up to about there, which is not too bad actually, considering there's a double joint there in the neck, so you can bring up that whole section up to there, down to there. It's all very nice. You can turn the head pretty far to the side, despite having this kind of collar parts there pretty high up on the side of there. The cockpit hatch does open up by folding this part at the bottom here down, and this part on the top is supposed to pull out and then kind of fold up. It's kind of a little bit difficult to do this without these parts actually coming apart, but it's meant to look something like that, I guess. But again, no pilot actually seated up in there, and you can't really see it anyway, but Yeah, Benda didn't give us a new pilot figure for this. We just have the pilot figures for full frontals, so there you go. The shoulder will swing forward to there. You can move that all the way up like that on its own. This bit here on the side also swings on its own. So ultimately you're able to get the arm up to about there, which is not too bad at all. The arm will rotate there at the top, double joint here in the elbow to give you a really nice full bend. And then the wrist is just on a ball joint there, and then it has a hinge in it as well, so you're able to get a really nice amount of wrist movement there. In the ab section, we have a little bit of forward and back movement, but it's not really a whole lot, and it doesn't really seem to stay there all that well, so it's going to be pretty negligible, really, to be honest. A little bit of rotation here, side to side as well. Going on here to the backpack, this is something I'm actually a little bit disappointed with this kit, is because of how separated all these different parts. Everything moves on its own, so you have this part here at the top, which will move on its own, side to side, up and down like that. That's on a ball joint. Each of the thruster bells is on a ball joint, so you have to get those lined up. This whole bottom section is on a ball joint, so that moves on its own. The fuel tank is on a ball joint, so that moves around on its own. This whole section on its own is on a ball joint, so that moves around on its own. It's also on a peg, and that can rotate like that. So you have all this stuff which moves around here, which is great if you want to move this stuff around, but it kind of seems like it should just be kind of all set and lined up like that. Like the original Sinanju's backpack is just kind of like all one big thing here. With this being so overly articulated, it's kind of annoying when you're trying to get everything lined up, because you have to like move this part a little bit over here, move this part here, like that, move this. It's just kind of annoying. A little bit too much articulation in the backpack, I feel like. Not really a huge deal, and it shouldn't be a deal breaker for anyone who's interested in buying the kit, but in terms of posing, it just makes it annoying. On the back skirt here, this bit folds up like that, and then this bit folds down like that. You actually connect the bazooka up here onto the back skirt for storage, so that's pretty awesome that you can do that. It's a pretty interesting contraption there built into the back skirt. But the back skirts themselves will move individually. Really nice little bits of detail with this little gray bit poking out there, this little separate part there, and then just the overall shape of the back skirts. Those will move up and down on their own. Side skirts will also move up and down a little bit on their own. The front skirts will move up and down a little bit on their own. Again, really nice bits of gray poking out between the details on that, and then here on the front skirt as well. It all looks really nice. The unfortunate thing is that the front skirts can't come up any more than that, so they don't even reach to 90 degrees. That's going to be the limit of their extension. The hips are on a track, so you're able to swing the whole section forward to the front like so. Otherwise, it's standard rotation there. We can bring the legs all the way out to the side to there, which is not too bad at all the way to the front to about there before that front skirt's about to pop off. Then we can bend the knee there with a really nice full knee bend with the separation of two parts of armor there for the knee. So very, very nice knee bend on that guy. This bit here on the side can be rotated forward and back, and you can actually kind of extend that out a little bit. There's a bit there, you can pull that out and move that even more if you wanted to move that even like farther away from the leg. But again, just the part separation and for these little vents and things like that in here make the legs look very, very nice. The toes move a little bit, as you can see by those fact that they're always moving. But as for the ankles, you can get the feet moving side to side pretty good, so you should be able to get a really nice wide stance out of that to keep it flat-footed. This bit on the front will also move up and down like that, so you can get the ankles, the feet pretty far forward. You can get them pointed back, really only to about there, which is not too far, but then you can point the toe down for a little bit more of a point like that. Here on the back though, like this part will also up and up like that, so that's pretty cool. And then up underneath the feet, some nice detail there for you, and that is it. So as you can see, it's got the articulation, check, it's all really good, and it's got the weapons, check, check. The weapon options are all really nice. The beam sabers, the grenade launcher, the bazooka, the beam rifle, the shield, the extra leftover beam rifle from the original kit, so it's got a lot of stuff in there to enjoy. I originally wanted to have the bazooka mounted on the back skirt. As I mentioned, you can mount the bazooka on the back skirt. I couldn't figure out how to get it on there. I was kind of getting it on there, but it's like barely staying on there, so either I wasn't doing it right or the bazooka just like barely kind of dangles in, is like barely held in that connection on the back skirt. If you guys have found a good way to get it latched onto the back skirt, let me know. Or if you also have trouble with that, then also let me know as well if you got this kit and you've tried that. For me, I couldn't really get it to work, so I just kind of gave up. And for a quick comparison shot, here it is with the HG version and a fellow Master Grade, which looks very small in comparison. So you can see the 1/100 scale Jim there looking extremely small compared to this very large, very big boy. And so basically what I mean is that this is one of those kits that whatever you do with it, it's going to look big, bulky, badass, and its weapons are big, the whole thing is big. It looks great, it looks fantastic. Well, let's talk about any negatives of the kit, because is there anything really negative to say about this kit? Well, first of all, The price is a little bit high. It's expensive. In the unboxing, I was mistaken though. In the unboxing, I mentioned it was 8,100 yen. It's actually 7,500 yen. 8,100 yen is with tax in Japan. So compared to the original kit, it's 500 yen more than the original kit. I feel like that's really not a whole lot, considering that you basically get one entirely new runner, a couple of little runners from the original Sinanju kit that were not included with the Sinanju Stein Ver.Ka, and you get a little bit of water slides, some new stickers, and it's not all too bad for 500 yen. So the price is not too bad over the original kit, but it's still 7,500 yen is still a lot for a Master Grade kit. But then again, it's pretty big, so, give and take there. But overall, it's not super duper detailed, but I think it has a good amount of exterior detail on it. It does have a couple of seam lines on the fuel tanks on the backpack, but overall it doesn't really have anything else in terms of the seams. The color separation, the part separation, all that is all really good. If you wanted to go in and add more detail, there's a lot of real estate there to add in more details on it, which I think is really good for people who want to practice that or people who enjoy that part of the building process. I think what is probably going to be the biggest complaint about this kit is the stickers for the sleeves markings, and that is a complaint that I don't particularly agree with at all, just because I don't really see how they could have done that any other different way, except maybe doing it in the same way that they did the real grade Sinanju, which I personally didn't like. I didn't like how they separated that on the real grade Sinanju, or it was fine, the fact that they separated the gold and black on the real grade Sinanju, but they made the gold so that it wasn't like very crisp. It didn't have like a sharp edge to it. I like that the sleeves markings, when they have a more sharp, clean edge to them, like with basically every other version of any sleeves kit. And so I like that they've done that on this kit. And so could they have molded that separately and still kept the sharp edges the way that I personally prefer? Yeah, I think so, but it would have been hard. Ultimately, to just paint them or paint them using a reverse wash is not hard at all. You have, even if you don't want to do that, you have water slides included. Using water slides is not that difficult either. And even if you didn't want to do that, the stickers don't look that bad on it. If you just throw this up on your shelf and you're just looking at it from a distance, you're not going to know the difference anyway. It looks fine just as it is, just with the stickers on there. So it's really not a big deal at all. This kit comes with stickers for the sleeves markings. All right, for the final test here, is it going to be able to hold up the giant gun with bazooka attachment on the end of there? It's pretty heavy. The answer is going to be no, probably not. So that's kind of unfortunate, but I don't know, maybe one of you guys could figure out a way to be able to hold that up better than I could, but it just seems like it's just going to be way too heavy. That said, without the bazooka on there, it holds up the big rifle just fine. It's not really going to be a problem with that, I don't think. But there it is. There's the Master Grade Sinanju Stein narrative version. Very cool. I do actually have the Ver.Ka in my backlog, and I just have never built it yet. So maybe someday I'll eventually have to get around to building that and reviewing that. But I mean, it's basically the same kit as this, so there really won't be too much different to say about it. But I do still want to eventually build that and review it for you guys, so I'll get around to that eventually. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching this review. If you have any other further questions, or if there's something that I forgot to point out, feel free, of course, to let me know that down in the description. And of course, a big thank you to USA Gundam Store, again, for sponsoring the review. Do check the link to USA Gundam Store down there in the video description as well, with the coupon code there, ZakuAurelius10, that you can use there to save 10% on this kit or anything else on the website. So that said, the next kit that I've got up for review is going to be the Master Grade Stormbringer. So we'll take a look at that P Bandai Master Grade kit coming up next. I'll see you all then. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye. Hey! Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you want to check the kit out for yourself, you can head over to USA Gundam Store. Use that coupon code ZakuAurelius10. Save yourself 10%. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.